Okay, the video cut off again, so I'm going to restart where I left off again, palpating the trachea. So I'm going to palpate your trachea. Okay, and while I'm doing that, if you could swallow for me. I'm also feeling his thyroid at this point, and the cricoid cartilage. Placing my finger in the sternal notch. And that's palpating the trachea as well. I already palpated the thyroid. At this point, with my stethoscope, I would oscillate for any bruit over the thyroid using the bell. So now I'm going to palpate lymph nodes in front of the ears, behind the ears, at the base of the skull, the tonsil ones, at the angle of his jawline, and the submandibular ones, submental ones I'm palpating, superficial cervical nodes, sternomastoid. I would palpate the posterior cervical nodes and the deep cervical ones. There should be some here under your armpits as well, and then under your clavicle. Okay, I don't feel any. You also have lymph nodes in your groin that I could inspect to make sure that they're not enlarged.
Just buy me dinner first.
He's funny. Okay, so we're moving on to your mouth now. I don't know any distinctive odors. Maybe some onion for lunch. I'm not sure. So I'm going to inspect your lips first. Could you open your mouth? Looking at your gums, I would have a light. Looking at your tongue for any color variations, any redness, any white patches. Moisture looks good. Consistency looks good. There's no crust, plaques, ulcers, cracking, patches, or bleeding. Could you smile? I don't see any gum hyperplasia, and there's no blue or black lines in them. Could you open up again? I'm inspecting his teeth for the size, the shape, and the number. And I already inspected the tongue. At this point, I would palpate it for any lumps. Okay, could you open up wide? I'm now looking at his throat for color and consistency. Looking at the torus palatinus and the uvula. And there's just one uvula, and it raises nicely when he yawns. You haven't had your tonsils removed, right? So at this point, I would look at your tonsils. Okay. Now I'm looking at your nose. I'm looking at the shape, the color, the consistency. There's no drainage. Airflow sounds good, possibly a little stuffy. Internal nose, I don't see any masses or swelling, redness, cracking. The septum's not perforated. I'm going to palpate your sinuses now for tenderness. There's none. I could percuss to see if there's consolidation, and I could transilluminate them at this time with my pen light. And at this point, I'm going to formulate some nursing diagnosis and see what kind of nursing care I can provide. And I'm going to chart and collaborate with the physician and any other team members that would need to be consulted with. So I thank you, Mr. Isringhaus. It was nice meeting you, and I'll be back shortly. And I'm washing my hands again.